And honestly, this is such a fun film, which I don't think I was necessarily expecting.
Oh, cool.
So I kind of wanted to start with, this movie M3GAN is so funny. Like, it's so, like, strikingly, like, from the get-go, it's got you laughing, and that allows the horror to almost hit so much harder when it actually shows up.
Cool.
So I wanted to kind of start with, what was it like kind of finding that balance, finding that kind of tonal juggling act between, sometimes you're making us laugh, within the frame of a single scene, you'll have us laughing and have us terrified. Like, what's that like?
I think, whenever I'm doing something, humor always sneaks in. Maybe it was a little straighter before it came my way, and I love it when a film can be many things, and my kind of horror icons are Sam Raimi and Wes Craven and people like that were always injecting a lot of different tones into it. So really I'm just following the footsteps of those guys, I think.
I definitely see the Sam Raimi kind of vibe to it.
Cool.
So I did also want to talk about M3GAN and the fact that she is... we've seen kind of the killer doll character idea before, but M3GAN has such a unique, specific personality. Like, she finds out so much about not just herself and about death and life and everything, but also, how to kill people.
Yeah.
So I was curious, what surprised you about M3GAN? Kind of getting to kind of dive into this real character who's not just a murder machine. Like, what kind of surprised you about her?
It surprised me that she became so fun, really, and we realized that we had a really golden opportunity by the fact that, unlike a lot of these other killer doll movies that are often sort of lurking in the shadows, or if they are talking, they're spouting out sort of one-liners, like, she has a real point of view, and she's always taking the high road, with Gemma's character, and so she was just endlessly fun, really. But it surprised me, like how amazing and I can't talk too much about how we made her, but it surprised me how much she just lived and breathed, through that. You really believe that she's a real person, and that was the ultimate goal. Yeah.
Fantastic. And then I think I've got time for one more, so I'm going to try and talk it real quick. Because I love that we personify toys as a child. Like, even if, no matter what, you kind of give random items in your house a personality and an idea, and especially with dolls. And now we're in an era where those dolls and those toys are actively learning and how to adapt to us and how to, in a way, manipulate us to get what they want. And in real life, that can be our parents' money. In the film, it can be blood and gore. So I was so curious, like, what about that element kind of caught your attention as a filmmaker? Why was this a story that really spoke to you?
Well, because I'm a parent myself, and I struggle with the same things that Gemma's character struggles in the film. It's just like how to do it. It's such an exhausting job, and it's such a crutch. We keep making these things that can do all the things that we don't want to do, and this is really a film that just speaks to that. It's like all of that stuff is really important, because if you invite these things into our home and they can do a better job than we can, look out, Yeah.
Yeah, we've become obsolete all of a sudden.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Cool.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me.
My pleasure.